would go back in his favor, so he doesn't have to spend too many materials as it's going downhill. And he uses the one piece of metal to block that shot, and now he's looking for more. He's looking to refresh. He needs to find something, possibly both of these eliminations in the storm. Yes, this is going to be the mats that he needs to refresh. Not even much, though. Every single time he finds an elimination, there's not much at all. The edit coming through, is he going to finish it off? Yes, but does he get the mats? Not really just yet, but taking the time, going back, still only 10 builds, really 15 builds here. Vivid, can you really do this right here with no mats from all the way back when? Clutching up, now into the top 5. He is doing this.
The big thing about getting these low ground eliminations is that everyone else is also in shambles. The big wall barrage coming in with the flintlock, just nice knowledge about where your materials are and where the angles are to get in. Has 2 heavy snipers available as well, so he takes multiple chances at moving through. Has to move up layers though. Silent edits coming in. Big Enas as well as Frat gets flown off that low ground as well. Vivid's just moving in ways I've never seen. Can he get that launch pad off?
No.
It might not be enough time. Vivid now going down to the zone is going to hold back as much as possible to see if the enemies were making a mistake, but that's the game. Hornet and Tickers playing the positional game there and winning it off with all this multi-high and low ground coming out. Look at these tarps, Bala.
Yeah, this fossil is ridiculous as it goes all the way back. I mean, really, we could actually track the story of Vivid, right? He had no materials through all of this. He barely contributed to that thing, but he survived until top 2. So what a performance there from Vivid, and that's why they're up there. That's why they're in second place right now.
It's always that 1 or 2 pop-off game, and it's always also about staying consistent. If Vivid and Tom keep playing that way, easily they can qualify this week 100%. We see Stinks now, the big focus of week 10. A lot of people carrying them more than normal I've seen right now in all these regions. Nice dodges from Grasha there, though. We'll see if he can move forward. Has a lot of mats available for the moment. 3 elims amongst him and his dual partner Daxter, both representing E11 Gaming. They do have that patented flintlock and redeploy combo. I think is one of the most dynamic combos in the game, as you don't have to pull out anything if you fall off from height. It's very easy to kind of manipulate where you want to be exactly with those 2 items. Granted though, they do take 2 slots.
But I mean, 2 slots, and we've seen the use of it. Actually, I don't know if we've seen it on broadcast yet, but there's starting to be a lot of innovative uses with the flintlock and the glider redeploy. You actually go faster, even horizontally, when you use that flintlock and the glider redeploy, because you shoot that flintlock, it pushes you with the momentum, and then you're using that glider redeploy to just carry you forward.
The biggest thing about it too is that you can choose when to stop and take your shots as well. We see a lot of stuff happening on low as right now as well. We have Pika on the server as well.
What is this? Is West just migrating to East? What is going on? Why are you here, Pika?
Maybe
East?
the timings of West, they thought, hey, we should get into games now, and they fell off on the East. We'll see if they can get the stuff done. There are 2 more qual spots on East compared to West, though, so maybe that's one big thing if these guys think that they can pop off.
I mean, we've seen in the past Psalm, you know, he is a West Coast player, but the first week he actually moved over to East, making sure that he gives himself the most opportunities, the most spots, and he qualified first try. He's actually even East still with his partner Symmetrical this week, so Pika taking a little bit of a note from Psalm.
Yeah, absolutely. At the moment, though, this is not the first chance. This is the last chance. It's week 10, so everyone's pulling out all the tricks from the bag. No secrets here. We'll see if we get anything equivalent of an Olaf boost. We'll see if there's any secret stats happening as that door edit comes through. People now have adapted to that, though. They know that someone's coming through that door. Assault taking all his shield off when he gets onto this rotation. Only 2 minis available. We'll see if Innocence has any heals as well to supplement this duo as he gets booped a little bit of interruption there on his minis. He does have shadows available. Once again, 1 player on shadows, 1 player on the balls, and in perfect position as well as he can beam Hydra from the zone line. A nice dynamic switch onto the floor from the wall once you realize that someone was already pressuring that wall. This is just those micro decisions these players make at the last second of these shots to get that elimination when they move across the map as well. They're going to be on rotation now. We'll see when they box up and go back.
Assault getting beamed from the back, not realizing there was a player who's going to immediately realize that he's there. But I got to talk about it. We said pulling out all the stops. Assault and Innocence right here. They're sticking to the tried and true, the 1 baller strat. We've seen them do this, even dual baller all the way through from the beginning, but they just got ripped in. That baller is gone now and they have to dive. No, Innocence is still down there, actually. I misspoke. There's so many players in the sky right now, but still So I think he still has that baller. I think he could still last a lot, but look at his HP right now, not working out just yet. Where did Assault go? Did he land nearby?
He landed on the mid-ground there, Balla, and he got right to work as Branchies, who is also on East right now, playing it up, gets a big knock down from Assault. He, as soon as he landed, even though he was split, went straight to work, started bullying Davon, who also landed with Fernando on that mid-ground, and he has this insurance. Once again, getting tagged up, people just predicting everything these players are doing when it comes to smokes. There's no safety available. Everyone's on their best behavior. They know all the stops they can pull to get this pressure down. Assault's now getting dynamic with it. Might not move the same way to get that shadow off. It might affect him on the amount of distance he can move, but he still has mats, 500 wood left actually, which might prove fatal near the end of the game, as that wood can get shredded through just like cheese in a grater. We'll see if he can keep it yummy though. Assault on 41 HP, needs some more food, needs some more eliminations to get that siphon off and get him back up to 100. Sees that storm line sight line as WordBro gets .exed out of the game. He's off now, 28 builds left for Assault. He doesn't get to pick up those mats. Owen and Threats owning probably the best mid-ground tarp they can have right now, but they're getting stinked off of it as there's so many people fighting for these high mid-ground layer tarps as well.
Staying on board with Assault, just great shots as he immediately realized that player was going to make an edit on him, getting the double combat shotgun shot through. And I think he wants to go for the mats, but maybe a little bit risky. Does find a med kit. Is he going to find the time to pop it? Is this the final zone? I don't think he's going to be able to do that unless he really goes for the full heal off right here. Now, down on low ground, there's still so many people left alive, Shiloh. I mean, there are 11 players total, 7 duos still remaining in this game, and it's final zone. It is time. 1 minute left in the game.
People are going to be playing super, super smart. The placements have not even gone out yet. All the points there. Still duos to get knocked down. 8 W keys get sent back to the jungle. No opportunity there for him to get any placements, unfortunately. 1 duo still needs to go down. Assault looking very healthy on HP and shield right now. Has a little bit more time to move through the storm. That storm taking 10 damage a second gives him about 8 to 9 seconds to move throughout without an elimination. Speaking of eliminations, Intangible goes down as Assault is now just freaking on everyone. Another shot coming in. Threats is getting eliminated. Can he keep it going? Assault has that low ground lair. It's very dangerous for the surprise factor. Davon getting that shot off, but it's not over yet. Creo and Nolan in a 1v1. Both their duos have gone down. Creo
What a
with
play!
the Superman launchpad on the height. Still has mats to answer with it as well. Starts taking the ticks of health first, but resets those ticks as Nolan has fallen under less HP. Creo with the high IQ launchpad and safety switch to stay in the storm and clinch out that game. Huge plays there. 3 eliminations. The victory royale. Creo, you can't do it better, Balla. You can't.
Creo just pulled off one of the most insane clutch launch pads I have ever seen, knowing exactly that Dusty Divot has these, kind of elevation changes. It goes up and then it goes down drastically. He knows there's builds up there. I can get up there and I can out-heal or outlast you as you have to make your way through all of that old fossil. Perfect play there from Creo, and that's why he's qualified in solos, right? So he's trying to do it now, trying to get double qualified and bring his teammate KiwiFace along with him.
We talk about qualified duos and solos. Sap and Zayt now, who also qualified for duos, are going to be looking at getting some more money and placement as well as they keep playing for these top spots for respect and practice as well. Slurp sticking on Sap. He does have a few more. They pick up an elimination. A lot of loot to work with now. Looks like they have excess mats as well. They're in zone. They could big up their base if they wanted to, make it a little bit bigger for more sight lines, or they could stay cool, calm, collected. One cool thing I see from low ground usually is if you stay a little bit more low key and then look for surprise shots where people don't expect it, that's where you can get those big picks. On height, it's always dope to, edit your walls, see if there's any advantage points, but with low ground, you usually have 1 or 2 angles, and you can get those pop-off moments there.
So Saf and Zayt, I've seen a little bit of on Zayt's Twitter about his strategies going into New York, talking about how he's trying to control his drop spot being Loot Lake. That's going to be one of the most interesting storylines in New York, being the fact that they claim Loot Lake to themselves, but we know how many duos are already dropping there. We know how many duos are already qualified in New York. So Zayt talking about, I'm trying to stop anybody else from being in there because he already has Sean and Aiden. He already has Mitra and Mongo. They're trying to claim Tilted, but they could come back to their old home the way they qualified.
The mind games from duos saying on Twitter, we might be taking this spot or that spot. The biggest theme for Worlds is going to be clashing of all these storylines. Everyone plays in their region. They know the rules, but that always gets flipped as Juxta gets flipped as well in the storm. He goes down. easy Elam points picked up from Sappin's 8.
Yeah, I do want to shout out real quick somebody who's been doing a lot of research on those clashes going into New York in solos. He put together all the drops. That's Arcane on Twitter. Absolutely amazing work. He just does that week in, week out. And now we really can look at a map and say, okay, we're going to see this, we're going to see that. And I can't wait for it. But you know what else I can't wait for? It's Fuzzy and Hogman. This is one of the teams that has had those, heartbreaking weeks, those heartbreaking moments, but also very positive, triumphant, because every week they're up there as Hogman picks up webs. Every single week, they're getting so close. And we saw them up on the leaderboard before, right around possibly this game is fresh for us, not even realizing any of the points here. Hogman, you are crazy. He just went all the way up on high ground with the baller, and Fuzzy's doing the same too, but staggered because now, no, just barely. I thought he was going to take full high ground while Hogman fights from below. But what a crazy play there. They're all of a sudden in a really good position.
They talk about the use of ballers in competitive, but no one does it better, I think, than Hogman and Fuzzy. Hogman was the king of ballers coming in from solo. He's kind of given that knowledge to Fuzzy as well. The amount of time they can keep these ballers alive near the end of the circle. A rift coming out now, seeing if they can once again reposition. Looks like their game plan is always zone 6 and 7. Fight for that height. Use your mats then. So if the balls don't work, we'll see if the rift to go can work. And it does almost, as Hogman gets that slow deploy,
yes,
but pops off on Sean Claude from the back. We'll see if he can build up. Another shot coming in. The Sidewinder combat shotgun. We'll see if he can wall replace here. His enemy goes down lower towards the ground. Sean gets that Elam, or Hogman gets the Elam confirmed on Sean. Multi-layered high ground available as well for this duo.
Yeah, and I'm curious, okay, they are going to use the launch pad to get right back down. Actually, Fuzzy's going to go ahead and drop all the way down. He does have that glider redeploy, but one thing I'm noticing in their inventory, they have the chug splashes. We saw the play earlier from Famhood. So that is a possibility here in this game, but there's still so much to play, Shio.
The Chug Splash is one thing you can always bait and switch with. We saw that high ground PG fight about to happen, but instantaneously that heal-off came in. We'll see what these duels can do with the utility they have. Brispy going for a nice utility play as his trap gives him some fruition, but he can't capitalize on getting those mats, ammo, or weapon upgrades because these guys have to move for the storm. Sometimes you can get those high priority Elams down, but you won't be able to get everything out of them except for just the points, and it might make it so that you fall behind on tempo for the rest of the game, moving on positions.
Speaking of tempo, I love how Sherry here is not, full topping all the way through, but what he is doing is placing a floor and a cone on the bottom layer and making sure that if anybody's going to go below, I can make that edit. I can open up on you.
A lot of personalized styles from a lot of people. Powbro going down. We'll see Cherry actually moving behind his builds as his duo stays up. This is huge. 6 duos left alive now. 1 more placement point left. We'll see who's allowed to play and who is not going to get any placement points from this point onwards. Hogman on the high ground with Fuzzy, who's trying to wall replace. Once again, this genius type of split on height where one person, one target, while the other one goes and does the dirty work. Fuzzy in a dirty situation, but Hogman cleans it up. Very nice stuff there as they get that Elam down. Big points available as well for these duels if they can keep getting these Elams over and over again.
And I love how they collapsed directly on that player. As soon as they got both the cone and the floor, that player started full sending on them. They both came down and made sure that they would handle this, but making sure that they're also getting that victory royale. They're slowing down, splitting the materials, knowing exactly where that LX RI duo is going to be, but Fuzzy goes down. It's now all up to Hogman, maybe opening a little bit preemptively there, but it's still top 3 situation. They've earned all the placement points. Hogman's going to get revenge onto Cherry. There's still one more down below, but he has no mats. Just fine. The siphon mats right there. That's going to allow him to stay up just for a little bit longer. Using the Chug Splash. Not yet using that slurp, but he sees an opportunity. Does get a couple shots. Now it's a 1v1 down on the low ground. Hogman can take his time or go full send. Get the elimination. Yes! Onto Brispy. And then finally onto Lotus. Hogman and Fuzzy take the victory royale with 20 points.
Options, options, options. Hogman just using the proper shots, using the proper heals. Zeke, what do you think about all this, man? How is this stuff getting so insane and more ramped up over and over again?
We knew for a while now that Hogmans and Fuzzy had it, and right then they just put all the pieces together. A massive 20-point game. Let's go.
Fuzzy Wuzzy doesn't care. Fuzzy Wuzzy will take all your points away and qualify for the World Cup. That should have rhymed. I apologize.
Sundown has long hair. There's the rhyme.
There you go.
All right, let's talk about some dope clips that you pulled for us.
Yes, let's take a look at some of the individual efforts that are coming out. I know it's duos week, but right now these guys are putting their partner on their back. First, you can see Vivid, no mats, no partner, no problem. Picks up the first elim, then immediately gets the knock onto a rough. He gets the bare minimum of mats there, a little bit more, 18, and he's able to convert it into more. Gets the immediate pickaxe and then finds out GG's only rigor, not enough there. Frags his way into the top 10, and then he's still going. We hopped on board with him. He was at 2 elims, no mats, no partner. Now all of a sudden, 6 elims, 75 mats, has control of the mid-tarp, gets himself into that top 5 situation, almost single-handedly, brilliantly done from the week 1 qualifier. It was a great effort and another great individual effort out of Assaults here. Drops down, puts the drum gun at mid-range to work, picking up branches, and then gets the upgrade to that legendary combat, and then he's gonna go to town with it. Finds Wordbro on the quick rotation through, and then doesn't let up, still picking people up inside the top 10 and sticking with it. This is how Innocence and Assault have made their plays. They've done it by fragging out and getting the elims, trying to be the only full controller duo. Shout out to Wolfies being the second controller player to make it so far to the Fortnite World Cup for the duos, and Assault just running down the low ground here. And again, this has been all without Innocence. We hopped on board. He was only on the 2 elims. He's able to get 5, 6 now, and then get himself into the top 5 as well. Just a brilliantly done play. And will the individual efforts be enough? Speaking of an individual effort, Creo with the nuts launchpad up onto the high ground, and then watch how he stays in the storm. We talk about every single interaction mattering, sometimes not even the interaction mattering, every single second, and just having 1 more second in the zone. He knows when it goes to full close, he's ready to challenge out. Brilliantly done, trying to get Lazarus a duo spot as well as their solo spot. Let's take a look at the standings so far, and it's Slackies and Keys right now in the top spot, 57 points. The Young Calculator and Macwood just behind them with 56, and then Aroa and NPen currently in 3rd at 55. The spread starting to get there now, 9 points, but again, it is anybody's match, Zeke. It is anybody's tournament, anybody's day. All of these guys have been so close, and this is really a who's who of NA East for competitive Fortnite.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of really big names here. Again, there's only the 3 spots in NA East, so a lot of these guys are going to look to bring their A game heading into these last few matches. I mean, when you look at even Calculator and Macwood, right, they've got the 7 games played. That's a lot with very little margin of error there, so gotta hope they come out with some really big games. But Fortnite fan, we appreciate, of course, you guys for hanging out with us, sticking around for Fortnite, all the Fortnite action. But for now, we're gonna go to break. I know. Just get up, go get yourself a snack, use the restroom, come back. We'll have more Fortnite action. Don't go too far.
Let's fly down to the lobby. Let's fly down to the lobby. Let's fly down to the lobby to get your spots and nums.
Burgers from dirt to munch.
Tacos Royale with brunch. Red Juicy's a tasty treat for Lil Whip, Peely, and Pizza Pete. Let's fly down to the lobby to get your spots and nums. Let's fly down to the lobby to get your spots and nums.
What's up, Fortnite fam? Today, we're going to be playing for $3 million for charity, folks, and it is going to be an incredible time.
50 of your favorite Fortnite personalities will be paired up with 50 celebrities put on this fantastic stage.
It's going to be awesome. It's duos, so we've seen it before at the Pro-Am last year, and it's always a blast. I can't wait to see what's going to happen.
The first match of the Summer Block Party Pro-Am is beginning right now.
They're putting down pressure. No one's safe now. That's 1 elim right there. Can he get a second? That is going to get followed up because he desperately needs materials. A player behind, 102 to the face. Look at this, he's just waiting. Grab full send, it's Symphony. He shuts him down. It's a 1v1. Who is the other player that's left? Oh! Here it is. He's going to go with the X. Oh! Duo's aggressive. Look at him go here, just beating down players. No weapons, doesn't even need them. Wants this, look at this. Aiden's just supplying pressure. Oh, tries to go high grab. This might have been a mistake. This is Aiden, we're talking about more damage. Bucky's down to nothing. And Aiden, victory royale.
Well, it doesn't connect with the shot. Marshawn Lynch hits 75 blue.
One great shot connects up, comes up over top. It's a second right there, and the Rift goes out.
Oh, she's on the run. She's chasing it down.
You're not gonna let this one go away. Oh, no, no, you know you're a solo. No turning back now.
35 wide on that damage there, and Ewok got the target. One build remaining, and that's it. He's gonna land in front of him, and typical gamer. Final game. Typical gamer pops up behind Janina. Oh, the rage. At this point in time, not looking the best when it comes to the... Oh, no!
Final moments, Golden Boy.
This is it right here, the 1v1. It's going to be Aiden going up against Symphony, pushing forward, forcing the activity. Oh! Symphony with the victory royale! Your winner of the second Fortnite Pro-Am is RL Grime and Ewok!
I'm a big fan of competitive Fortnite and watching it, so this has been really cool to be involved with.
That was easy, actually.
Easy peasy.
Welcome back to the Fortnite World Cup Online Open. We are in our last week, and we are knee-deep in the action in NA East. So let's get right back in the action. I mean, we're seeing crazy storylines right now. So many names are fighting for that top of the leaderboard. We just saw Hogman and Fuzzy clutch up big time. We see names like 72 Hours and Vivid, Aspect and Animal. They're all pushing the top of the leaderboard. So let's get right back into it. Gentlemen, I have Sundown and I have Zeke. Guys, take it away.
Boom. The original duo returns again.
You know us, you probably don't like us, but we're ready to get into the matches. NA East is on its way.
Speak for yourself.
Week 10 going. I know everybody loves you, but
I was going to say everyone hates me.
Appreciating humor. The games are ready. Let's get into it. The back third of NA East. These are going to be the final, not quite the final match. We've still got a little bit to go. We still got a little bit of leaderboard to work through, but we're getting down to the wire in terms of the spot. Brazil is getting down there as well. We'll have those results when they're final, but only 5 spots left. And the Fortnite World Cup solos are done, and this will be the end of the duos as Bugga gets sent back to lobby right away. No wall replacement going on there, just a straight shot to the grill from Exis and Cease.
Well, you know, this is just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. But don't forget, guys, those thresholds, all right? Top 15, top 10, top 5 in the victory are the placement thresholds. Every elimination is a point. Very simple to remember. We're back in that dual format, and just like Sundown says, this is it. You know, this is the final opportunity for these players to punch their ticket to the finals in New York City. Don't forget that it's July 26th through the 28th. Don't miss it. Mark your calendars. We're going to be hanging out, having a great time. and watching some of the most competitive Fortnite we've ever seen in our entire lives right now. Aroa, looks like some people are trying to just be up in his airspace. He's not favoring it right now. He sends some shots out. Nothing's quite connected yet on now, but I think it's fun that we're all hanging out with our little slidey feets.
I really, really dislike. So I actually like box fights more when I have ice on my feet, because for some reason I've actually, like, I went back and looked, I win a higher percentage of them. I don't know if it's just because the chaos or it throws my opponents off more, but in terms of rotating and all that, just absolutely dislike it. But Aroa and Npen getting pushed on by Destroy and his partner. Destroy will end up being converted over, but he's trying to disengage over. He knows Destroy is going to end up being picked up, is going for the revive on Npen right now as RJX pushes in, trying to get over towards his partner, but not going to be able to do it. As Frost and Devious keep putting pressure on him, Baldy Sama is directly above them as well. No shotgun in sight, Zeke.
That's probably why he's not taking this fight. He could easily get in that box, but I mean, if you're going to put an infantry rifle to work in that close range, you're probably not going to hit the shots, especially with a shallow magazine there. You probably just don't want to be taking those fights.
Well, it's so close range, it's not horrible, right? 44 to the chest, and then you have the 88 afterward. Oh my God! He uses it, he pushes it to the box, and he finds it, the back-to-back headshots. Dini gets sent down right away, and now Baldy knows he has that wall. He's trying to find the shot. Can he find it? No, instead gets ripped up into the sky. It's like, all right, I'll take a free rotation. Would have liked the shotgun, but a rotation will be nice, as you can now check out the backside of the storm. Ricardini, Assassin, FA Mark, Dodo, Crunchy, and Orby all trying to make it over to that launch pad. Diego and Aiden just rotating on the low ground. The SH boys trying to find some room. No utility, insight, and hurting on Matt so far.
So you know what I've discovered is that I guess these players can just somehow hear me. So every time I say something that doesn't seem plausible, they just say, Zeke, hold my slurp juice. Watch this. So that's why I basically said that. I was like, there's no way. Oh. And, you know, I was wrong. Niddle there picked up, though, and of course he's going to be confirmed there because that's going to keep Aiden alive. That extra siphon going to make the difference.
And then the storm actually moving back over across from him when he's in kind of a tough position from the metal. Will now have to rotate away, but isn't going to be forced out. And with just above 70 effective HP, that's going to be huge. Going to chuck out the stinks to try and get whatever ticks he can. Those players are all super low, and he drops down. He gets Cameron in JG. Can he find the other player? Casker gets ticked over as well. That's one, that's two. He gets the knock there. He needs to find the conversion. Can he find the siphon? He did. 49. He needs to find the zone, though. 1, 2, 3. You can't miss the PowerPoint. Oh! The siphon again. That was his knock, which means he gets into the zone. 19 HP. And Jezel TTV takes him down. Give him a follow there, as Psalm and Symmetrical are the only ones up on the high ground. The rest of the lobby is going to have to go up against Old Man Mountain as Aspect begins his climb. So does Exus. Tendons and Nolan's directly behind him as we're closing in on the top 10. Z-Laner picks up Funded, and Nolan actually gets a knock onto Psalm, which I'm assuming is from knocking out the high ground. So I'm not sure anybody's up there. Yep, high ground is now gone. Aspect and Animal own it.
12 players, 8 duos, top 5 is the next threshold. You've got a player down below using that campfire, trying to keep themselves alive right now in Aspect. And you know, his dual partner Animal, like you said, they've got the high ground advantage. This is huge. It depends on where we're going, but look at Animal's HP. Bottom left right now, critical condition. Laner there is going to be picked up, and on 106 over on the dome of that player. Aspect only gets traded out for 38.
He wants to go aggro on him. He knows where that player is, knows he's on the backside. He's looking to find it. How deep did he disengage down? Can I go find it as Symmetrical picks up Bambi for Pyronic, and we're going to have our top 5. So now it's Stony and Crunchy on the low ground. Tendons and Forwards on the tarp beneath. Aspect and Animal on ultimate high. Tendons and Nolan are in your bottom right-hand corner. Aspect and Animal in the top right. You can see all the rest of the action on the left-hand side as Stony does end up actually forcing down Nolan. Tendons goes to try and challenge, is able to find it, and then Stony gets knocked as well. But the high ground's going to be the difference as Tendons is doing everything he can to remain in the zone, and he found it, 10 HP, but it's not going to matter. Aspect picks it up. That's the 4 elims plus the victory route, 14 points going over, pushing them up to 53. That's why they were up there on the leaderboard. The favorites coming in after all the warm-ups kind of fell off, but Aspect has been rolling, and they're trying to make it again. This is week 10. Oceania is done. Asia is done. Europe is done. And we're in the back half of NA East. It is time to put up or stay at home. The trips to New York City are on the line, and Bizzle and Demo want to be there together. Of course, Bizzle qualifying in week 1, but he wants to be playing with Demo on that stage.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you want to try and get your dual partner into the finals, right? This is going to be one of the most insane events, I think, ever, right? And if you're Ghost Bizzle, who's already qualified, you're thinking, I've got to try and get my dual partner there. Demo, we've got to make it there. And, you know, they've come close. They haven't put it together yet, but...
I think they came probably about as close as any other guys. I've told this story a couple times.
Yeah, you have.
And I think it was week 4 or week 6. No, it was week 6. There was one Shadow Bomb rotation when they were in 16th place, where they popped the window and 2 guys were staring at them. Just waiting for the door to come out, and they both got lasered, and a half second later, somebody else went down. So that would have been the points. That would have been enough to push them over the top. And that's when we talk about every little moment mattering, every decision sometimes being the difference. That is the prime example. But Virus QT does get picked up, and Bizzle and Demo are going to look to make a case here. Kind of hurting in terms of utility, but positional-wise, not in a bad spot.
Yeah, I mean, ammo is looking pretty sparse, right? Just a mag and a half in the AR. There are a few rounds with the flintlock, a few slugs there for the combat, not much in the way to work with. Look on the other side, though. Vivid. He is 2 boxes away. Now, 72 is in critical condition. Take a look, and look at this. 5 total builds.
No
now,
shields on either of them. Like, they have less than 100 effective HP. They do have a rift, but you don't want to go skyward unless you're going late, and it can guarantee you placements. But you also don't want to be caught out in an awkward rotation here. They can't afford to tarp. You either have to go right away or go super late and just pray nobody looks in your direction, which for somebody, they're sitting on 50 points. Can he find 1, 2, 3, but the 16 isn't going to be enough. They desperately needed it, but now attention is drawn their way. 72 is going over. You see the combat swiveling towards them. It's Lotus directly above, Predator on the backside, and they're going to go late. They're going to go late, and they're going to pop and just hang out and hope nobody looks skyward, because 1 AR bullet will drop 72, 2 will drop Vivid, but right now everyone else is worried about rotating. And there it goes, skyward, and he knows it's white. All of a sudden, Vivid goes straight.
Oh my God!
Box, can he find it?
Oh!
Mateos gets dropped. That could be the difference. They have all the mats. They have the mid-tarp. They need to drop down and get more, though. They need the campfire. They need all the resources. You see, on the right, Vivid is down. You have to cover your sides. Vivid is down. 72 has to clutch up, but he's taking ticks. He's over in the storm. You can see him there, dead middle of your screen, and he is down outside of the top 15. But look in the bottom left. Ninja in reverse still up. Bizzle and Demo, Artsy and Midas, Sean, Claude in the middle as well. And hello, Burst SMG. First time I think we've seen that. All cast. Bizzle puts it to work right there.
Every single weapon, every single form of utility, everything in the hands of these players that are playing the top 0.001% will be lethal.
I mean, Bizzle doesn't even need to use weapons sometimes to be successful. We've seen him, you know what, I'll give him a shout out for the memery, but like, in the end, it's really impressive doing that. You don't expose yourself to risk, but the fact that he's still going out and trying to make plays with the impulses and the turrets, like, that's when you know somebody's on another level for the solos competition. But Cartier Cole and Cartier Chris looking skyward, drops everyone, and he turns back. Cool guys don't look at explosions as 1, 2 tick over right there. Really heads up play.
Unfortunately, they're not going to get the materials and ammo, but still, 2 eliminations, 2 points on the board, and pushes them into top 15. You like to see it. The lobby is going to continue thinning out. Now, keep in mind, top 10 is that next placement threshold. That's where their next aim is. You've got someone up in the sky trying to challenge. Germ, I'm so sorry. You have been eliminated.
Hogman goes down, but was inside the top 10, so he got the 5 points. Bizzle and Demo are still up as well on the mid-tarp as shots are raining down from Chris and Cole. They're doing so well. Bizzle and Demo both go down outside the top 5. No more points there for the vaulted duo, and now Janik picks up dimes. We have our top 10 as top 5 as Cherish is inside of it. Reverse and Ninja still on the low ground. Lotus with a great slide around. Reverse with an even more heads-up play. Ninja's in your bottom right. Cartier Cole in your top right. Janik and Stowe on the mid-tarp as we have a 2v2v2. RPGs are coming out. Can they catch it? They catch it right away. Player gets dropped down. Ninja in reverse make quick work of him, but then Ninja catches the rocket right on his face. Can he find some time? Watch Ninja in the bottom right. Cartier Cole in your top right now. You can see Reverse trying to get an angle to support him. Cole has got the RPG reloaded, begins to work top down. Ninja continuing to tarp himself out. Did have enough room.
No.
Reverse went to the sky. Are they going to look up while Ninja tries to get them distracted? Now they're looking downward as Ninja is distracted. This is the split from Reverse. Gets blasted out of the sky. Interesting call as Reverse now gets dropped to Ninja. Make the play. The clutch is on him. Gets cracked back 17 HP, but now he has the high ground with Shadows. Needs to pop minis if he can get the room. A siphon would be huge, and it's not going to happen. Chris and Cole shut down Reverse and Ninja. 8 elims in the victory royale, pushing them up to 45 points.
Man, that was, you know, I respect the play for sure, but hindsight is 20/20. That's all I'm going to say about that. Next game, here we go. You got E11 Heart there in the center screen, 33 players, 19 duos remain. So we're pushing the very stretches here of the lobbies. You know, more often in finals day, we've seen dense lobbies, upwards of 50 people, upwards of 30 duos remaining, and that is not the case because today is the difference. Today is your opportunity to qualify for finals in New York City, and that's all these players have worked for. 10 weeks, they put it all on the line, giving everything they've had, and they're looking to make the difference today.
As B-Hegs gets some great shots out there. B-Hegs being known as one of the players who actually played across region a ton pre-World Cup when that was allowed, and he won money over in Europe actually multiple times. Just a really good kind of high execution style player. First time I've seen him with Heart, so really interested, but they're up at 51 points. Like, they're challenging and they're within striking distance. And also, like, I want to give a huge shout out right now to all of the players who played and competed. Thank you so much from like the bottom of my heart, being able to cast this, analyze this, work on this show, watch you guys develop and continue to grow and do such cool, awesome gameplay stuff, and continuing to push the limits of Fortnite and grinding it out, whether it's the practice or every single one of these tournament windows, playing through holidays, getting the support of your family and your friends, and pouring all of your heart and soul into this. It means genuinely the world to me, and it is so much fun to watch you guys just push this game to its very limits. So thank you for making our job just so awesome and so easy as we're into the final moments of NA East. Less than 45 minutes on these queues. Again, you get 3 hours or 10 matches, whichever comes first, and then you are done. So 40 minutes left to queue, and then the World Cup experience is over for those in the East.
That's right, and the next step would be the World Cup Finals. But here we go, man. Hopping in, you see Keys on and Slacks. Looks like the HP is okay, but let's take a look at that loadout. It's looking pretty good. I'd be curious to see what Keys has, because Slacks is pretty stacked. Like, obviously, if he had like 3 more Shadow Bombs, an extra 2 rifts, or an extra rift, excuse me, to have 2, that'd be great. But even Keys' loadout's not bad either.
Yeah, lots of rotation. They're going to look to play safe here. They see everyone around them rifting over. The pressure plant rotation is not necessarily a fun one. And I know there's also kind of a general, I want to say conspiracy theory, where the circles are forced to go over mountains or changes in verticality. I can 100% confirm that is not true. The way the kind of like the storm works, there's a minimum and maximum distance for how far it can move from the current circle, and that's it. There's no like predetermined path or all that, so I will just absolutely eliminate that conspiracy theory. But now Slacks is trying to eliminate his opponent in the box. Hello? Ezra gets headed in, and the fact is they're wearing the exact same skin as well, and so is the other duo. Might have been a moment of confusion there. That's what can happen, but a brilliant pickup from Slacks and Keys, who are trying to make their push for qualification. That elim gets them into the top 15 as well. 8 elims, 11 points so far from this match, and Keys is looking to do everything they can. We've seen them, Zeke. They're at the top, and they keep it up.
Just having the same skin is probably what made the difference, because you saw the player for a moment react and maybe take a shot, and they were like, wait, not the...
The vertical ceiling trap is so good because the stair got put in the place, but you're only going to block it if you're on the lower side of it. Knew they'd both been on that and just was able to wiggle past the shots into the other box. His teammate editing that one at his back. That's what good duos do.
Now Cross, I mean, his duo is gone. That's it. He's by himself. But look, he's trying to make at least top 10 at minimum. There you go. He's held on. He's now in top 5.
Yeah, the Dominican.
Or top 10.
Saturno being picked up. We saw him in the winter out trying to represent, but Vizitel gets picked up, and BHEGS up on the high ground, completely uncontested. So the guys you want to keep your eyes on right now are BHEGS and then Slacks and Keys. They're the ones who are trying to make a push for qualification. What happens to them is what matters here. All the rest of the players playing for their shot at the prize money, but those duos are in contention for a World Cup spot. BHEGS picks up Snappy on the high ground. Jaw is able to get Stainless, and Cross is trying to find some sides. Drags gets picked up as well. The top 5 is going to be huge. Knock comes through because of the stink, and we get close to that top 5.
There it is. Top 5 has been achieved. Now look at this. We are moving. There's only a single duo left in this lobby. Everyone else is a solo rider. Another person has been eliminated. Look at this. Cross is just trying to cross up these players, finding the elimination. That's Keys!
Yeah,
he shuts him down!
Slacks and Keys were the last duo, but Keys is now knocked into straight solos competition from here.
All coming down to the wire. Look at Cross's HP, though. He can top back up to 100 shield, but his HP is going to make the difference. You see HK down below. He immediately gets picked up. Again, like Sundown talked about, Bags and Slacks. These are the 2 players to keep your eyes on, and that is, they are 2 of the 3 players left. Cross is the meat in this sandwich right now. He does not want to be here. Bags has all of the HP advantage in the world. And now look at this. Cross, he knows Slacks is close. He doesn't know how much HP he's on. He knows Bags is up top, keeping him pinned down. And look at Slacks is trying to close
Slacks
down.
has no mats. Slacks has absolutely no mats. Watch how he's walking around. He has nothing. He's just running through the open. BHEGS just lasered him right there. Cross needs to get the edit on him, and he does. Cross will pick that up. BHEGS should be able to close this out because Cross is on no mats now. BHEGS needs to get it, and he does. Gets the elim, gets the victory royale. 65 points for BHEGS and Hart. That's what I'm talking about. Keys and Slacks, those are the moments. Cross getting the elim and BHEGS closing it out. If the Keys and Slacks are able to get that, that could be the difference. But with every single interaction mattering, these are the exact moments, the ones that will impact who is sitting there, and we're gonna get right into a next match. You can see Lavish, Vivid, 72 hours, Ninja, Reverse, pick whoever you want. 53 points right now for the Liquid duo. Make it 54 once they convert onto C-Leo. There is no quad crasher flying in this zone around Vivid in 72. No flight zone. They'll swat you down.
Man, look at where we are, man. Gus, it depends on where we go from here. The effective play space is going to get very funky very, very quickly. You can see, if you're looking in the bottom right, there's already some of that blue area. Remember, that's the edge of the mountain. So that space, you could build off of the side of the mountain, but you don't want to be doing that.
When in doubt, throw a grenade. Golden Boy is so proud. He got another one. That's a double for him. 5 eliminations. Now, the question is, can they loot goblin it? Can they get all of that? Because they saw other Splodes go to it. Bizzle had been pouring in Splodes. They want to get all of this because this is 3 teams worth of loot on the side of the zone. They have literally can open a whole, anything. Like, everything is wholesale. You want medkits, you want shields, you want ammo, you want mats. The Liquid Boys got it right now.
This is going to just, like, absolutely increase their potential winning this game, right? They've got it all. Their loadout is looking so good, and now with that Rift to go, all the upgrades, you've got a combat shotgun right there sitting outside. I hope that they've potentially picked that up.
They're both already rocking them. Like, you can tell. They was like, people complain about, come on, you got combats laying everywhere. These guys will leave it. What do you mean they need them? No, I'm just kidding. Come on, guys.
That was a good one. That was a good one. I like that.
No, I'm not funny. It's fine. But now you can see what they want to do is they are on the far side of this zone. They're not really sure where players are, but they're actually, if you look in the bottom right-hand side, there's about 3 duos in between them and the zone. So they're going to opt for an early launch pad, but they're so far away, it's not really going to give them as much distance as they hope. Maybe getting to 50-50, but they're still going to have to vertical up. You can see Vivid on the left-hand side getting ripped as Ninja is now trying to 90 his way upwards / double ramp, but he's getting ripped. Hey, Shadow Bombs, rift. Don't hold on to him. It's not worth taking all the trip. Pop a shadow, get over, get safe. We've seen it before. Oh, no, got the chugs going up, and yep, they're just going to up. Well, they're so close. You can see in the bottom right,
they
desperately want to build in. They don't want to burn it right now, but they use so much of those resources. I think it would have been worth a shadow. But now look at that stack right there. Demo, Bizzle, Chap, Poach, Ninja, Reverse, Instinctual on that side. That is one heck of a side of a mountain.
There is just so many high-profile players that we have seen. And now look, like you said, man, now they have to burn things like the Slurp, right? I completely agree. They probably should have used the Rift, but like it's better to use it than lose it, you know?
As long as they had enough to get themselves back up, not losing the effective HP, like, they're going to be fine. They have a good side of the zone. It's worth holding the material for there. It's just, you get a critical mass point, right? Like, if Ninja gets one more headshot on him, somebody's going to pour a stick grenade at him, or they're going to spend more resources. As now he's trying to find Chap. He gets the knock. That was a 36 and a 72 with a little bit of fall damage. Will they be able to aggress right there? That's Chap and Poach trying to get out. They also have priority on the zone. If you look at the bottom right, the entire lobby has to rotate past Ninja in reverse.
Here we
and
go.
They have the rift, and here it goes. You can see the side of the racetrack, better known as Gus, because, you know, it spells out G-U-S.
You know, I feel like there's a lot of people that didn't know that. Welcome. Now you know. But here we go. The rotations begin. And so now this is, like you said, Reverse and Ninja, they just got to sit here, wait for people to make mistakes, like that person in the ball, or just start cracking and attacking the resources they have, whether that be HP, shields, rifts, materials, the likes.
They need elims. They need elims to catch up right now. They need a big game. They need big shots, and that's what Ninja is capable of. You see the number of rifle rounds he's putting in, but not quite connecting onto eliminations is going to end up being a big factor because they need all the points if they want to be in New York City. They don't care about anything else. They want to be on that stage. Reverse will already be there, but Ninja wants to own it as well. As Luke gets picked up, they're going to make the effort here. They're in a prime position to do it. Side of the zone, still have a Shadow Bomb apiece and the Rift as we're closing in on top 15.
And Poach goes down just outside of that top 15 range, so no placement points. Hopefully his dual partner is still alive. We got to hope right now.
Yep, Chap is still in. Chap is still in.
Yeah, okay. So now, I mean, Ninja is a laser beam, right? If he gets set up, he's going to just shut people out, right? He's going to rip them to shreds just like that. Finds another one. He just needs the positioning. Now he's going to start rotating the rift. Perfect. Yes, I love this.
Well, because they don't need to worry about getting caught in that fracas right there. The number of players who made it out of that, it doesn't matter how good you are. Out of the 5 duos who were in that situation, 2 made it out. 1 rifted, the other 2 shadow bombed, right? Everyone else got picked up. So using that utility in that circumstance to get another opportunity is fine. Proximity launcher into the common tack from Demo, and the Ghost Boys get themselves into the top 10 as well. They're making a push for it. 50 points, 5 elims, 5 placement points so far. Proximity grenade launcher is out from Pizzle. It's fantastic. It's basically a guaranteed 70 chip right now, and they're looking for it. Demo trying to find whatever angle he can, pushing through. Top 5 is the next place in threshold. Arsley drops down directly in front of boxes, go out, and a great combo shot. That is teamwork if I've ever seen it from Bizzle and Demo, and the Ghost Boys are now into the top 5.
9 players left. They could very well push for this victory royale. Vivid gets picked up, and look who's on the high ground. Reverse and Ninja, they're still here. Oh no! He gets cracked there, and look, DMO is down as well. But it's okay. Bizzle has been in situations like this. Now the question is, what are Ninja and Reverse going to do? They get cracked, and look,
the proximity launcher is going huge. He just got one. Oh no! Reverse dropped down, and he challenged it. That was so good. So much happened so fast. Okay, so Bizzle was trying to put the proximity launchers up towards the high ground. He got 2 different 70 ticks, but they were on 2 separate targets. So Ninja just stayed up while Reverse dropped down. The pints came through, but they were able to close out. Just such a good finish out there from Reverse and Ninja, clawing their way back into contention. Let's throw it back in the studio to Bala, because I am way too excited right now.
Hey, we're all excited, Sundown. What a crazy game. I mean, we already knew that 72 Hours and Vivid were in contention, but 2 more teams adding their names to the list of people who are fighting for that spot in New York. I'm joined by Shia. We're going to go ahead and get through some of the action that we just saw and break it down. Shia, what you got for me?
Absolutely. We got a few plays here from different angles, multiple different things happening. Vivid on that desperation jump pad. Going to be looking over, looking down, seeing and placing his pivot spots on where he wants to look. Height kind of pressures him to go down, finds out that someone's not building, gets an easy sneak around. The timing is crucial here. He waits for other people to mat out so that individual has a certain sight line. The RPG by Cartier over here, he's going to not build, make sure the other enemies cannot connect up, then build up afterwards to make sure he maximizes on that fall damage, which is genius because then they have free height and can focus on the rest of the game. When this game starts progressing as well, we have a lot of shots coming off, both duos looking at different angles of the entire map, but supporting when possible. Not too much tunnel visioning happening with the RPG either. Cartier is very dynamic in terms of switching towards his combat shotgun and helping out there as well. The RPG is only coming out once a lot of builds have actually developed in the actual server. A nice quick split there for Rockets to make sure the pressure is always on, and now using those free range RPGs, which is really, really dope. Gets a lot of damage on the rest of the server rather than pressure on everyone else that's over there as well. Finally getting that big pop off on Ninja. Right here, Slacks going in. This kind of enabled him to have the rest of his game available. He sneaks in with a shadow and stays right next to his enemies. You can see there his crosshair positioning kind of baits out one shot going for the finish, but then waiting for his enemy to peek through and getting a big elim off right there, making sure they have that box up. He's on point. Right here, Cross is going to start fighting B-Hags on height. B-Hags goes for a nice split here. We'll see it from the other angle. He builds up and kind of stays on a 50-50 spot, goes right, then gets that drop down on Cross, maximizing the time for the zone coming in and everything else in general as well near that end game.
Yeah, so that's crazy, and that is actually going to lead Slacks and Keys up into that top spot with 74 points. But man, there are so many names here. I mean, this is literally a who's who. Shio, this list of names is crazy.
Absolutely. B-Hags as well, who got that nice clinch at the end there as well, bumped them up all the way to 65 points over here. My bad, I was standing in the way there. Zayt and Saf are also up here as well. They've qualled though. There are the top three who haven't yet, so it's going to be very exciting to see if they can hold up. Calc and Macwood will also